Hey guys, welcome to another Warlock Kings video, and today I'm gonna tell you guys some tips and tricks on how to perform better in raids generally, or dungeons, or overlords, or hero dungeons, and so on. A lot of times when I run raids, especially with the randoms and new players and stuff, uh, there's a lot of big struggle. People struggle with mechanics, being able to dodge red, being able to see effects, so on, and there's a bunch of people struggling. So we're gonna talk about how you guys can improve, how you guys can do better, and so on, when it comes to dodging mechanics and learning the fight. Now, I would highly advise you guys to, before you guys run a raid, learn a little bit about the raid. Let's say you're running a guild raid, right? Depending on your guild level, you might start at Twilight and then Alara and Edion. What's very nice for these raids is that there is a raid team option, so you guys can kind of see the fight with a random group with a way easier fight. You guys can kind of tell how the fight works. I would highly advise you guys to check them out. And then there's some good videos on YouTube. I've made a video on all of the raids, so you guys can check them out and learn basically how the mechanics work. Now, the biggest issue some people have is struggling with seeing effects and stuff on the floor. If your effect is on high or even medium, you will not be able to see the floor effects most of the times. And so I will highly advise you guys to put your effect on super high. Field of view, you can put it also on super high. If your device can't handle it, then you can turn it down, but I will highly suggest you to put it down. Friendly player, I would keep the count up. The reason I want to keep the count up is a lot of bosses have a mechanic called seed, right? Seed is giving to several players at once, and if you stack with somebody who has a seed, you will die. So if you cannot see the player, you're not going to see the seed the player has, so you will not know where you're going. So you want to have the player count up to. Turn high frame down. If you want to see my settings, this is my settings I run on. I have texture on. And I turn titles, everybody's titles off, so I can get better view. Shadow off, everything off. But this is my settings that I keep for raids, to be able to see everything, so I don't miss any mechanic. Now, even if you do this and your device is very bad, you still cannot see any mechanics. What I will highly advise you to do is ask the raid leader or is leading your raid to put a marker on a player who can see it, because then having that player, let's say there's a mechanic that puts red stuff on the floor or something that was going to deal damage to you, right? Do some area of damage. If you can't see, you can follow the guy with the marker at all times, and you can dodge. I will highly advise you when you hear the raid leader say dodge and you don't see anything, highly advise you to move, even if you cannot see the effect. Kind of struggle in this game to see effects sometimes, but you guys got to do your best to be able to see effects, even if you can't. So dying in the raid is very bad, because you will need every single one. When it's a hard raid you're doing, you need everybody to stay alive. Also, if you guys end up dying in a raid, I will highly advise you guys not to revive until the raid leader tells you to. But this is when it comes to hard raids, when you're running with your guild and stuff. If you have a raid leader, he will tell you. But my best thing I can do if you cannot see effects on the ground is follow the same person over and over again. A person you see that's constantly alive, follow that person. Follow, see, unless it seeds. When it seeds, you don't follow him. But other than that, it's also a very helpful tip when it comes to seed. Most people, when they have seed, they run out ASAP away from the group. But if you have a seed, you can actually stay in the group as long as there's not another seed touching. I would not advise you to do that, but it's an option. Like, you can stay in the group. Everybody will take damage, but it's not enough to kill. Seed usually only kills players if it's stacked with another seed. So use the room. Go in front of the boss if you have to. I see always when people get seed, they run the same place. Some people run back, some people run right, and they die. Nobody uses the space in front of them, and so on. So make sure you use the space on the floor. When it comes to the harder like hero raids and stuff, you can read the manual on this. You can see how they work. You can watch a video. Honestly, everybody that's doing raids and so on, they should be able to tell how. They should read up on the manual. They should watch a video on how to do it before you enter the raid, so you don't mess with the other players. Because again, the raid lasts for 1 hour and 45 minutes. You want to make sure you finish it So you want to be ready, you know, you want 100% ready. Now when it comes to PvP skills, depending on boss fights, I will highly advise you guys to use Stone Skin or Flash. You don't need Iron Build that much. So Stone Skin is the go-to spell because it can help you survive something like a double stack on Seed or something. You pop this, might survive that. It will give you a nice HP boost and so on, so that you can survive that attack, and it's a very nice. When other than that, when it comes to raid fights, most of the times, I will highly advise you guys to put a skill on auto. Let's say you have. I'll talk more about this when it comes to my maximize DPS, video. But let's say you have a skill, right? Like one skill. Let's say dragon skill armor, right? Or two skills. What you can do is you can pop these off. You can put priority. First priority this, second priority this. Now, when I have an auto on, and whenever those skills are ready, when they pop up, my character will automatically use them, so I don't have to click the spell or anything. It will make it raid easier, fight easier for you, and it will make you be able to focus on your spells and dodge the red and stuff. However, here's the thing. The only issue with this is if you have auto on, it will automatically keep pulling you to the boss. So let's say there's some red you have to dodge, right? You dodge it, you stop moving, and it will pull you towards the boss again, especially if you're melee. And what this will lead to, you will die again. So be careful with the auto. If you feel comfortable, you can use it. If not, I will highly advise you guys to not play with the auto on, because the auto will automatically pull you towards the boss, which is something you don't want to do, because you need to be dodging mechanics. Also, another thing is, it's more important to do less DPS and survive mechanics. You can do both. That is also very good. But remember, only a certain amount of revives people have, and usually you need all the players if you want to be dodging the later mechanics. All the bosses get strong at like 20%, under 30%. That's usually when the bosses get crazy. That's where the fights get crazy. So that's when you want to have more people alive. If you die early, it's very bad. So stay more focused on staying alive than out DPSing on the DPS charts. I know people love like being the top DPS and so on, but if you want the raid to survive, if you want to play the raid, focus on surviving. Survivability should be your first priority, and DPS should be your second priority. Because if you die, you're not gonna do any DPS anyways, right? So just focus on yourself, focus on your character. A lot of effects that happens on your character. So always pay attention on your character. You usually get a message. Also, a very nice thing to know is open up the raid bar right here. If there's effects, like if you have Edion, right, and you have those meteors, you can actually see who has which meteor on the team bar. So it will say Spid right here. It will be like a fire effect right to my name, and you will know that I had the meteor. Or I will just look at my character to tell if I got a debuff or anything. But if you can't tell if the debuff happened, the raid leader calls out whoever has it and you didn't see it, always check the team bar, see if you actually got it. There should also be debuffs under here, but see if you got the meteor, and if you did, move to your corresponding place where you're supposed to be. The most important thing is just being able to focus on your character, focus on surviving. You guys will help out your raid a lot if you can do that, and if you are prepared before going into a raid. And yeah, that's about it. And then to get the best gear, you guys know you have to do these raids. You have to get those commendation thingies. You can get your tier 1. So raids is one of the most important things to do in the game. So you want to be prepared. So be prepared. Remember, use the advice that I give you. It's small little advice here and there, but it can help save your whole raid from a wipe if you listen to the raid leader and fix your mechanics. And just remember, guys, even if you cannot see AoEs on the ground, the most important thing is just focus on another player, follow that player, make sure when he moves, you move, because that can save you harder, but that can save you a raid wipe. Because I know there's a lot of people that I run with in my guild who cannot see the red, and that's what I do. I give somebody else in the raid a marker so they can follow that person, so that when an AoE comes, they can dodge out of it. Usually all the AoEs are a little slow in this game, so you guys will have time to move out by following that person. Hope this was helpful. I hope you guys go and clear your raids and get your T1 and everything. If you guys enjoy my videos, my guides, make sure you give a thumbs up, make sure you click the bell notification thingy, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.